everyone. Today I want to talk about something that keeps so many people stuck in toxic relationships, and that is the fear of failure. I hear this same thing all the time with the women I work with. If I leave, doesn't that mean I failed? None of us walk into a relationship, especially a marriage, thinking that it's going to end. We make vows for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, and we take them seriously. They mean something to us. And it's not just the fear of failure around worrying what other people will think or feeling judged for a failed marriage. There's that internal struggle too. It's the idea that we failed at something that we cared so deeply about and were so committed to. If you're anything like me, you grow up hearing things like, "We don't quit" and "never give up." And you apply that to every area of your life, including relationships, even the ones that were hurting you. But here's something to consider, and I want you to think about today. What if the real failure isn't leaving, but staying in a situation that's breaking you down? What if walking away is actually an act of strength, self-respect, and the first step you can take towards the real healing that you need to do? So let's break this down further and talk about how redefining failure can help you move forward, because staying stuck isn't the answer. I recently spoke with a client who's been unhappy in her marriage for years. Her husband shows many narcissistic and abusive behaviors, but she's afraid that leaving would mean she's failed. She's successful in her career as a mom and in so many other aspects of her life. So the idea of failing in her marriage feels embarrassing. And again, that idea of failure is keeping her stuck. If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. Society often portrays long-lasting relationships as successful and breakups or divorces as failures. But I'm here to help you keep it real. What's more important, keeping up appearances or actually being happy and healthy? So let's flip this script and gain a different perspective on this. What if staying in a toxic relationship is actually the real failure? In what ways could you possibly be failing by staying? And who else besides yourself might you be failing by staying? So I'd like to think about a few things. Number one, let's talk about failing yourself. Staying in a relationship that causes you emotional, mental, or physical harm means ignoring your own needs. Imagine a friend telling you that they're in a relationship where they're constantly criticized, controlled, or made to feel small. Would you tell them to stay so that they don't fail? Of course you wouldn't. You'd want them to prioritize their well-being, and you deserve that same compassion. Number two, failing your children. If you have kids, they're learning about relationships by watching your relationship. I want to repeat that one more time. If you have kids, they're learning about relationships by watching yours. Staying in an unhealthy environment teaches children that love means control, disrespect, or emotional pain. For example, children who witness constant arguments or emotional abuse may grow up thinking that's what relationships are supposed to be like. Leaving shows them that love should be kind and respectful, and that it's okay to walk away from situations that hurt you. Number three, let's talk about failing your partner. Staying with someone who treats you poorly doesn't help them grow or change either. In fact, it enables their behavior. Imagine if your partner had to face the consequences of their actions, like you losing you. Could that be a wake-up call they need to finally seek the help that they need? I can almost guarantee that staying in the relationship will likely not lead to that. Sometimes the most loving thing that you can do is walk away. Number four, failing your future self. Staying in a toxic relationship robs you of the future you deserve. Think about where you could be 5 years from now if you left today. Living in peace, building healthy relationships, and rediscovering your happiness. Now, I'd invite you to think about where you'll be if you stay. Which future do you want? And then lastly, failing to reach your full potential. Toxic relationships can drain your energy and confidence, holding you back from pursuing your goals and passions. I've worked with clients who, after leaving, discovered new careers, hobbies, and friendships that they never thought possible, or quite frankly, weren't possible under the circumstances that they were living in. Imagine what you could achieve if you weren't constantly weighed down by a relationship that hurts you, makes you feel small, and takes away opportunities for growth and happiness. Leaving a toxic relationship isn't a failure. It's an act of courage. It takes incredible strength to walk away from something familiar, even when it's hurting you. Think of it like leaving a job that's making you miserable. You wouldn't stay just because quitting might look like a failure. You'd move on to something better. And relationships are no different. And yes, leaving is hard. There might be days when you doubt yourself or wonder if you made the right choice. But over time, you'll start to feel lighter, freer, and more like yourself. And that's not failure, that's freedom. I want to leave you with some practical steps you can take to shift your mindset out of that fear of failure. So here are 5 tips that you can try. Number 1, start challenging those limiting beliefs. Write down the beliefs that are keeping you stuck, like divorce means I've failed, or people will judge me. Then reframe each one. For example, you could say divorce means I've failed becomes divorce is a courageous step towards a happier, healthier life. Number 2, focus on what you could gain by leaving, not by what you would lose. Yes, leaving a relationship means losing certain things, but what do you gain? Peace, freedom, self-respect, better mental health, and the chance to build healthier relationships that truly fulfill you are some of those things. Number 3, surround yourself with support. Connect with friends, family, or support groups who uplift you and encourage you. Hearing from others who've been through similar situations can be incredibly empowering. Number 4, visualize your future. I invite you to close your eyes and imagine yourself 5 years from now, or even further down the road if you want. Are you still stuck in the same painful relationship, or are you thriving, confident, and surrounded by people who respect and love you? Use that vision as motivation. You could even write a letter from your future self to your current self once you have landed on the vision that you want. And then lastly, celebrate the small wins. Every step that you take towards leaving is a victory, whether it's setting a boundary, reaching out for support, or researching your options. Acknowledge your progress and be proud of yourself. If you've been holding on to a toxic relationship because you're afraid of failure, I hope this episode helped you see things differently. Leaving isn't failing. It's choosing yourself. It's breaking free from a cycle that no longer serves you and stepping into a future where you can thrive. You deserve a life filled with love, respect, and happiness. If this message resonates with you and you'd like support along your journey, I'd love to help. Click the link in the show notes to book a free discovery call with me, and I would be honored to walk with you beside you on your journey and redefine what success and happiness mean in your life. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And take care, and I'll see you next time.